And we're back to our truck drivers strike. Thousands more Australian truck drivers.
Thousands more.
This is a theme. Now we've been covering the strike story for a couple of weeks, that the Australian truck drivers have been threatening to strike over working conditions, over safety conditions, over hours. And again, you're going to see here the toll union, transport workers union, as a pretext to delay enterprise bargaining and freeze wages. That's what the pandemic. On August 27th, more than 4,000 toll drivers walked off the job for 24 hours. I believe that was actually on our first episode that we covered that.
Yep.
So that was the first major strike by trucking industry workers after at least a decade of suppression by the union bureaucracy, and the first ever mass strike at toll. So in the 3 weeks since, they've called no further action, stating only that more strikes are possible following a meeting scheduled for Tuesday. This indicates that management and the union are Taco Bell. Oh, Lauren, welcome. Everybody's hanging out on Twitch, but I'm glad you're on YouTube. Somebody's got to monitor YouTube. Is he modded, by the way?
Yep.
Nice.
I think so.
He's wrenched. Good. Keep the riffraff out if anybody shows up and decides to screw around. So more strikes are possible following a meeting scheduled for Tuesday. This indicates that management and the union are hoping that the lone 24-hour strike, deliberately engineered to ensure minimal disruption to supply chains, was enough to vent workers' anger and pave the way for a sellout deal. Of course, it's the World Socialist website.
Yep.
No wrench for Warren?
Yep.
All right, well, we need to fix that. Okay. Where is my YouTube page? I don't even know. Oh, you sent me the link in Discord.
I think so.
I think I'm in my Discord, not in chat. Come on. Oh, Discord's so slow. Yep, there it is. All right, let's wrench Warren. Let's do it live. We'll do it live. No, I'll do it over here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Burying the lead. Okay. So, sorry about that, everybody. In the 3 weeks since the strike,
you definitely should say.
The workers' union.
Yep. It's called No Further Action at Toll, stating only that more strikes are possible following.
Right. We've read that like 3 times now. Okay. This is what happens. You get a little high before
420
the
somewhere
stream.
was at least, like.
Or during the stream.
Around 2,000 drivers.
The workers' union.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm fixing it. I'm fixing
YouTube.
it. I'm muting it. I'm fixing it. I muted it.
We'll do it live.
Like I said, we'll do it live. We're done.
Your hands in the shot. The hands in the shot.
Your hands in the shot. Oh, dude, the best. That a broadcast news. I love that reference. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Nightbot pushing my thing down. Come on. Where's the thing? Move the thing to the thing. No wrench for me. Well, let's fix that. Add moderator. Okay.
I'll take this break to announce our sponsors. Water. Water is good for you. Drink some.
And say that we have a podcast out of this shit show of an episode here, that it will be in a podcast. Yep. If you go to anchor.fm/independentleftnews, you'll be able to listen to this instead of actually having to watch it and look at the bird and look at Reef sometimes. Whatever. Anchor.fm/independentleftnews. All one word.
Yep.
All right, so around 2,000 drivers at the Star Trek plan to strike for 24 hours on Thursday to demand equal pay for labor hire workers and caps on outsourcing. In addition, 4,000 FedEx drivers that voted last Friday for protected industrial action, and a further 2,000 drivers at Linfox and its subsidiary BevChain are also in the process of voting on industrial action. Workers rising up worldwide. This is what we want to see. This is how we are going to win. This is how we are going to start to take back some of the $1 trillion+ of wealth that was transferred upward over the last year and a half. Major transport companies have seen their revenues spike during the pandemic. Of course it has, because transport was one of the things that was able to run, and price of trucking and everything went sky high. So that makes sense.
Right.
Right? So while public health measures haphazardly put in place on a state by state basis fall far short of what's necessary to eliminate the current Delta variant outbreak, they've left drivers with a more dangerous and stressful workplace. Of course they have. Drivers who live in the
Yeah.
Greater Sydney region, New South Wales, must get tested for COVID-19 every 7 days. Drivers, this is what happens in an actual country, guys, where the people the government actually gives a crap about the people. But at the same time, we're gonna, Caitlin Johnstone has been talking about some of the draconian measures and some of the police violence and enforcement that have been
it's like
happening, where they're tackling people for not
Yep.
even wearing masks. It's like getting to the extreme level. But at the same time, they want to be tested more. They're asking, they want to be
Yep.
drivers in southwestern and western Sydney every 3 days, but it's every 7 days.
It's like they
Why?
shut down the internet in Melbourne, right?
Oh man, they sure did.
Like,
They
yeah.
sure did. Most truck drivers are not provided paid leave to get vaccinated. Again, same thing going on here. Why a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated here is that they're not provided paid leave to get vaccinated, and they worry about how much time they may or may not have to miss if they have symptoms resulting from the shot and side effects. They're having difficulty finding locations to get rest or a hot meal or a shower, with many truck stops closed or refusing to serve interstate workers during lockdowns. The problems you don't even anticipate, right?
Right.
So now federal state governments are preparing to abandon these limited measures in line with reopening demands of the capitalist ruling class. Again, you get a lot of the World Socialist website language, which again is directly anti-capitalist, and I
Yep.
understand why. Again, the problem is you have to live in a capitalist society until we get to the system that we want to get to, with full support of the union.
Sure.
All right, so
Yep.
the union recently wrote to the National Cabinet, a de facto government comprising Prime Minister Scott Morrison, not a good dude, hardcore right winger, climate denier, not a good prime minister, and of course, very famously, Joe Biden forgot his name and said our friend down under last week. He fell asleep on
My former boss man name,
right.
wife, Biden wife.
They rushed him out of the meeting.
Shut up, Pat.
They rushed him out of the meeting with Boris Johnson. He couldn't remember this dude's name. There was another big
terrible.
Biden. There was another big Biden thing that happened this week too. It's just wow. The TWU recently wrote to the National Cabinet, right? Like I said, urging it to establish a COVID. Yeah, Corn Pop knows me. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Corn Pop.
And he ran a bunch of bad doors with bad crew.
Ran a bunch of bad boys, bad crew.
Dude, that song's great. Corn Pop, you can't stop. Corn Pop, you won't stop. Thank you. I'm not a big fan anymore of Mike from PA, but I will say that he did introduce me to that song, and it's classic. So I got hairy legs. If you haven't seen the hairy leg song, look it up on YouTube. It's absolutely worth watching. So letter calls for the establishment of rapid testing hubs, paid leave for vaccinations, and warns that any move to reopen the country without shoring up our health defenses risks further devastating lockdowns, restrictions, and economic disruption. Free guy wasn't bad. Oh, that's cool. Dude, you'll have to jump in and join us next time. We'll get you on here, and you'll be in the middle box between Reef and me. Reef, why isn't your name? You took down your nameplate. Nobody can see who you are.
Yeah, I haven't put that on the whole time. There you go. Look,
Hey,
there's my name and my Twitter handle.
Nice. Yes, you did. You got a wrench. Yep. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. Warren gets a wrench. Cool. So, And again, this is opinion. The union's utter regard for the health of its members is in line with the union's response to the July introduction of heightened lockdown measures by the NSW government. The Transport Workers Union, I think that's the Transport Workers Unions, and other unions immediately joined business leaders in lobbying for exemptions, forcing workers back on the job in the state's most dangerous coronavirus hotspots. And look, WSWS has definitely been the most, I would call it, conservative when it comes to reopening, the most alarmist when it
Yep.
comes to the disease and to the outbreak and
Lockdown, yeah.
spread itself. They have been incredibly diligent in reporting what's happening, the cases that are happening in each country worldwide. And again, you can agree with it, disagree with it. I am looking at the numbers and I stick to what the numbers are. And like they said, during a 3-week period, 18 people were killed in road accidents, including 5 truck drivers. Now, were all of those due to et cetera? Who knows? 2 drivers were killed when their trucks collided and caught fire in the early hours of August 27th, the same day as the toll strike. That's terrible. Invalid. You get a mod, you get a wrench too? Yep. Invalid's going to get a wrench. Sure. Why not? If Bones vouches for you, you're in. Done. A daily prevention pill. A daily prevention pill? No, I didn't see daily.
Jesus.
My bird looks like it's smoking. I love that.
Would you like to take the red? Would you like to take the red COVID pill or the blue COVID pill?
No. Oh man. Oh, she's got the wrong stream. I sent out the wrong link to everybody today, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's at the event. It didn't go to the event. It didn't go to your YouTube event.
Man alive. Man alive.
Like you made the event on YouTube, and Restream decided not to go to those.
The Restream's the one that made it,
And
but
also,
I did make a change to the event in on the YouTube dashboard because
YouTube.
Yes, because it does not allow me when it creates it in Restream, it automatically does not check the allow embed button on the YouTube dashboard, which means that when I share it, it doesn't actually embed the thumbnail. That's no good. So I have to go in and fix it and tell it to allow the embed.
You have to go in there and
right. So I did that.
Who knows?
So here comes
we'll
Mary.
Figure it out.
Hi Mary, if she's here, I'm sure she's popping in a minute or so. I just sent her the link because she's messaging me and saying, "Where'd we go?" I think she's still looking for us on that other stream. I think we have to kill that. We have to probably kill that other event so people aren't looking for it. But anyway,
yeah, I'll work on that.
Yeah, many of these deaths are a result of driver fatigue, endemic among workers who depend on constant overtime to make ends meet, and could be prevented if workers' health and safety were prioritized over corporate profits. The road death toll is further fueled by increased demand on supply chains as lockdowns accelerate the trend towards online shopping and home deliveries, of course. Freight volume is above pre-COVID-19 levels, driven by stepped up demand for food and household items during lockdowns. 2020 saw a growth in annual retail turnover of $15.7 billion for food and $9.5 billion for household goods. That's just wow. Okay, there's been a boom in parcel delivery as part of the shift to online shopping, of course. But rather than taking on more full-time workers, transport companies are meeting this increased demand by outsourcing jobs to companies which pay contractors less than their full-time staff, creating a two-tiered workforce and eroding permanent jobs. Not cool. Okay, so this is one way that the company has been trying to get around paying people. They'll just hire third-party contractors who aren't necessarily bound by the same laws.
Scabs.
Yep. Well, it's not even scabs because they're just choosing not to hire these people internally. They're just outsourcing it instead.
Right.
Insecure work is increasing in virtually every industry, leading workers to have to work multiple jobs. ABS figures show that the number of Australians with at least 2 jobs has grown to 32.6%. That's a scary number. I don't know what the number is in the United States. I'm guessing it's probably closer to 50.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The rise of insecure work in the major transport companies has been facilitated. So this is a good, in-depth. It's got numbers. Again, some of these numbers are used to make this point. I don't know if they're necessarily, if I interpret them the same way, like the number of deaths on the road, etc. Was that all due to the conditions that we're talking about here? Maybe, I don't know. But under Australia's Fair Work laws introduced by the Labour Party and enforced by the unions, most of these workers are not allowed to take part in protected industrial action, such as a ready source of labor, to mitigate the impact of strikes by permanent workers. So, as a serious struggle for improved health, safety, pay, and conditions in the transport industry requires a conscious break with the TWU and the formation of independent rank and file committees. You know, it's really funny because somebody was in my Discord recently asking me about, actually, it was in Hinkle's Discord, whether the socialist
Yeah.
websites, they're Trotskyites, whether they actually believe in unions. And I think they do, but I think that they are more in favor of independent rank and file committees because what they see over and over again when it comes to union leadership is the corruption, and over and over again, they're not necessarily looking out for the best interests of the people on the ground, but to make a deal and a quote unquote sellout deal with the management. That is almost the default position of World Socialist website. Um, and
Yeah.
I love them for it. Again, somebody needs to provide this viewpoint. Somebody needs to provide what,
Sure.
you know, the the perspective of the worker. Hey, we're not going to get screwed over by our labor union here against management. We're going to have our voice actually represented. And they deserve to do that if they're going to unionize 100%. So WSWS's idea is that through a network of these committees, workers can connect with their brothers and sisters across company lines and national borders throughout the transport sector and the working class more broadly, and take up the necessary fight, not just against management, but against Australia's draconian industrial laws and capitalist profit system.
Yeah.
And I would guess that our friend Caitlin Johnstone probably agrees with a good portion of this, though probably not all of it. And I am in the same boat
Yeah.
there.